When most people think about bringing a newborn home, they worry about sleepless nights, diaper changes, and learning to be parents. But when River's parents prepared for her arrival, they faced a unique challenge that would either become their greatest blessing or their worst nightmare. 7 German Shepherds. 7 powerful, protective, intelligent animals who had ruled their household for years. And now, a fragile human baby was about to enter their territory. This isn't just another heartwarming pet story. This is about something far more profound. The mysterious bond between species, the ancient pack instincts that science still struggles to explain, and a transformation so complete that it would challenge everything we think we know about animal behavior and family dynamics. What happened when River came home would defy every expert's prediction and reveal a truth about loyalty, love, and belonging that will leave you questioning the very nature of family itself. For years, River's parents had built their world around their 7 German Shepherds. Each dog had their own personality, their own place in the hierarchy, their own relationship with their human parents. There was Roman, the eldest and wisest, whose piercing eyes seemed to understand every emotion. Riker, the playful troublemaker who could never sit still. Phoenix, the gentle giant who moved like a shadow through the house. And 4 others, each unique, each beloved, each an integral part of a carefully balanced pack. The house had rhythms. Morning walks that required military precision, feeding times that followed strict protocols, evening routines where 7 massive bodies would settle into their designated spots throughout the living room. It was organized chaos, beautiful in its complexity, and it worked. The dogs knew their place, respected their boundaries, and lived in harmony with their human pack leaders. But then came the pregnancy announcement, and with it, a creeping anxiety that neither parent wanted to acknowledge. German Shepherds are protective by nature, bred for centuries to guard and defend. They're also incredibly strong. Each dog weighed between 70 and 90 pounds of pure muscle and instinct. The questions haunted them during those long months of waiting. Would the dogs see the baby as an intruder? Would their protective instincts turn dangerous? Would jealousy tear apart the peaceful world they'd built? The research they did only amplified their fears. Stories of dogs attacking newborns, statistics about bite incidents, expert warnings about the unpredictability of animal behavior around infants. Some friends suggested rehoming some of the dogs. Others recommended keeping them completely separated from the baby. But River's parents couldn't imagine their family any other way. These weren't just pets. They were family members who had been there through everything. The question wasn't whether to keep them, but how to make it work. As River's due date approached, the tension in the house became palpable. The dogs seemed to sense something was changing. They followed their mother more closely, their eyes filled with a mixture of curiosity and concern. Roman, in particular, became almost obsessive in his attention during those final weeks. It was as if he knew something momentous was about to happen, something that would change everything forever. The day River was born, her father made a decision that would prove to be either brilliant or catastrophic. Before bringing the baby home, he took one of her hospital blankets back to the house. 7 pairs of eyes watched him as he knelt in the living room, holding this small piece of fabric that carried an entirely new scent. What happened next would be the first sign of the miracle that was about to unfold. One by one, the dogs approached, not with aggression or territorial behavior, but with something that looked almost like reverence. They sniffed carefully, their tails beginning to wag slowly, their ears perked forward in curiosity rather than alarm. Roman was the first to gently lick the blanket, and as he did, something shifted in his expression. The other dogs followed suit, each one seeming to understand that this scent represented something precious, something to be protected rather than feared. But the real test would come when River herself arrived home. Her parents had prepared for every possible scenario: gates to separate spaces, backup plans if the dog showed any signs of aggression, even arrangements for temporary rehoming if necessary. They carried her car seat into the house with their hearts pounding, 7 pairs of canine eyes tracking their every movement. What happened in those first moments defied every expectation. The dogs didn't bark. They didn't jump or crowd around the carrier. Instead, they formed a loose circle at a respectful distance, their bodies' language calm but intensely focused. It was Roman who approached first, moving with a deliberation that seemed almost ceremonial. He sniffed gently near the carrier, his tail wagging slowly, and then did something that brought tears to both parents' eyes. He laid down beside the car seat, positioning himself as a guardian. The other dogs followed Roman's lead, each one approaching to investigate this new pack member with a gentleness that seemed to come from some deep, instinctual understanding. There was no jealousy, no territorial behavior, no signs of the aggression that everyone had warned them about. Instead, there was acceptance. More than acceptance, there was adoption. In those first precious moments, 7 German Shepherds made a collective decision that would reshape their entire family dynamic. As the days turned into weeks, the transformation became even more remarkable. The dogs didn't just tolerate River's presence, they embraced their new roles as her protectors and companions. Roman appointed himself as her primary guardian, rarely leaving her side during those early months. When she slept, he slept nearby. When she cried, he would alert her parents with a gentle whine, as if to say, "She needs you." When visitors came to meet the baby, Roman would position himself between them and River, not aggressively, but clearly establishing his protective role. But it wasn't just Roman. Each dog seemed to understand their part in this new family structure. Riker, the playful one, learned to moderate his energy around the baby, his usual boisterous behavior giving way to gentle curiosity. Phoenix became the silent sentinel, always watching from the shadows, ready to intervene if needed. The others formed a protective perimeter, creating a living barrier of loyalty and love around their newest pack member. As River grew from infant to toddler, something even more extraordinary began to happen. She didn't just accept the dogs as part of her world, she began to see herself as one of them. Her first attempts at crawling were accompanied by excited barks from her canine siblings, as if they were cheering her on. When she took her first steps, Roman was right beside her, his massive frame providing stability and confidence. The mimicry started early and became increasingly pronounced. River would bark along with the dogs during their morning excitement. She would try to eat from their bowls, much to her parents' amused horror. She would crawl on all fours, attempting to keep up with their pack during their indoor adventures. To River, there was no distinction between human and canine family members. They were all simply her pack, her siblings, her world. The bond deepened as River's personality began to emerge. She showed an intuitive understanding of each dog's individual nature, approaching the gentle ones with confidence and giving the more reserved ones the space they needed. She learned to read their body language with an accuracy that amazed her parents, knowing when Roman wanted to play and when Phoenix needed quiet time. It was as if she spoke their language fluently, a communication that went beyond words or training. But perhaps the most remarkable aspect of this relationship was how it changed the dogs themselves. These animals, bred for protection and work, discovered a new purpose in nurturing and teaching their human sister. They became more patient, more gentle, more attuned to the subtle needs of a growing child. Roman, in particular, seemed to understand that his role had evolved from pet to mentor, from companion to guardian angel. The daily routines of the household adapted to accommodate this unique family dynamic. Bath time became a group activity, with 7 dogs and 1 toddler splashing in an oversized kiddie pool in the backyard. Nap time meant finding River curled up with whichever dog had claimed the best sunny spot that day. Mealtimes required careful orchestration to ensure that curious little hands stayed out of dog bowls while still allowing River to feel included in the pack's activities. Visitors to the house were often stunned by what they witnessed. A toddler moving fearlessly among 7 large dogs, each animal instinctively adjusting their behavior to accommodate her presence. River would use Roman as a pillow during story time, climb over Phoenix during play sessions, and share toys with a generosity that seemed to come naturally when you've been raised to think of everything as communal property. As River approached her 2nd birthday, the integration was so complete that it was impossible to imagine their family any other way. She had learned to walk by holding on to Roman's thick fur. She had learned patience by waiting for the dogs to finish eating before approaching their bowls. She had learned gentleness by observing how the massive animals moderated their strength around her fragile form. Most importantly, she had learned love, the deep, unconditional, protective love that defines the very best of pack behavior. The house that had once been carefully organized around 7 dogs had evolved into something entirely new, a space where species boundaries dissolved into something more fundamental: family. River's toys were scattered among dog toys. Her small bed was often abandoned in favor of sleeping curled up with whichever pack member had claimed the most comfortable spot that night. Her daily routine was inseparable from the rhythms of her canine siblings, creating a harmony that seemed to flow naturally from some deeper understanding of what it means to belong. But perhaps the most profound change was in how River saw the world itself. To her, the idea that some family members walked on 2 legs while others walked on 4 wasn't strange. It was simply how families were supposed to be. She had no concept of the artificial boundaries that humans often create between species, no understanding that her upbringing was unusual or remarkable. In her world, love came in many forms. Protection was a shared responsibility, and family was defined not by genetics, but by choice, loyalty, and the willingness to care for one another. The story of River and her 7 guardians challenges everything we think we know about the relationships between humans and animals. It suggests that the bonds we form across species lines can be just as profound, just as transformative as any human relationship. It demonstrates that animals are capable of making conscious choices about who they accept into their pack, and that those choices can reshape entire family dynamics in ways that benefit everyone involved. As River continues to grow, surrounded by her loyal pack, her parents often reflect on the fears that once consumed them. The worries about aggression, about accidents, about the complications of raising a child among 7 large dogs seem almost laughable now. What they discovered instead was that love, when given freely and without reservation, creates its own safety net. The dog's protective instincts didn't disappear, they evolved, becoming more sophisticated, more nuanced, more perfectly attuned to the needs of their human sister. The daily miracles continue to unfold in small moments that might seem ordinary to outsiders, but feel profound to those who witness them. River sharing her snacks with Roman, who accepts them with the dignity of a king receiving tribute. Phoenix gently nudging River away from potential dangers, with the same instinct that would protect his own offspring. Riker moderating his playful energy to match River's smaller size in developing coordination. 7 individual personalities, learning to function as a unified support system for one small human who has become the center of their world. This isn't just a story about pets and their owners. It's a testament to the transformative power of unconditional acceptance, the profound bonds that can form when we open our hearts to love in all its forms, and the beautiful complexity of families that choose to embrace difference rather than fear it. River's pack didn't just accept her, they chose her, protected her, and helped shape her into someone who understands that love knows no boundaries, that family is defined by loyalty rather than biology, and that the most profound connections often come from the most unexpected places. In a world that often emphasizes division and difference, River's story offers something different. A vision of harmony that emerges when we choose love over fear, acceptance over prejudice, and trust over suspicion. River's 7 guardians didn't just become her protectors, they became her teachers, showing her through their daily actions what it means to be part of something larger than yourself. To care for others without expecting anything in return, and to find joy in the simple act of being together. As this remarkable family continues their journey together, they carry with them a truth that extends far beyond their own experience, that the capacity for love, loyalty, and family bonds transcend the boundaries we often think are fixed. River's pack chose her, not because they had to, but because something in their ancient wisdom recognized that she belonged with them, and in making that choice, they created something beautiful. A family defined not by convention, but by love, not by similarity, but by the profound recognition that sometimes the most important bonds are the ones that form across the spaces that seem to divide us. The story continues to unfold each day, in moments both ordinary and extraordinary, as River grows surrounded by the unwavering devotion of 7 hearts that beat in rhythm with her own. In their world, the question isn't whether different species can form families. It's whether we're brave enough to recognize that love in all its forms has the power to create bonds that are stronger than any barrier we might imagine.